So it feels a bit like it's 1989 all over again. And, you know, it's the greatest wave of strikes since the Thatcher era. I mean, this is chaos.
It is chaos. And I mean, it's very disappointing to see. I think the government have got a real challenge on their hands now. It's a balance between kind of going for negotiations where sensible, but also I think putting in that legislation as mentioned in the headline, which was promised in the 2019 manifesto in terms of minimal levels of service.
The challenge here is that for several years now, the Conservatives have promised this tougher legislation that would clamp down on strike action. Why has that not come to the forefront?
Well, obviously, we have had a pandemic in the interim period, but it's shown now, particularly with the issues with the RMT, that we really need to get that legislation in place. I mean, the transport strikes in particular are going to cause absolute chaos over Christmas and are really holding the country to ransom.
So what legislation, what could be put in place that would change that and stifle the impact of those strikes?
I think the legislation in terms of the minimum service agreement of about 40%, obviously we don't want to see strikes at all. And I think that the government have to be firm in their negotiations. I think where most people have sympathy is particularly around the NHS workers who've worked really hard during the pandemic. And actually, you know, we're all suffering from a cost of living crisis, but there needs to be a reality that these above inflation increases are just unaffordable for the government at the moment.